Hey everybody, it's your Sam and I'm here with another video. Today is going to be kind of a fun one, a little bit different. It is going to be a tag video. I yanked this off of Heather Salterperv's author channel. I will leave the link down below and a list of the questions. There are 10 questions and the tag is authors are weird. So we've talked a little bit about this before. Just want to kind of do this tag as well, just to get a little bit more out there. Question number 1. Do you have bizarre internet searches? If so, what's the weirdest one? Yes, I have the bizarre. I'm just going to go with the latest, as in from January. Okay, this is this year. This is 2025. What I have searched for. I needed a refresher on herpetology, and I searched how lizards mate because blood gold is a dragon erotica, and I needed to make sure that I was remembering correctly about how lizards and reptiles and salamanders also mate, just so that I could get my anatomy and positioning and all that good stuff correct. I also searched how many liters of blood in an adult body versus a child's body. And this was because of one of the scenes that is now deleted in Isekai Detective, because I needed to try to visualize and measure blood spatter in a game. I also searched blood substitutes because of my vampire thing, and also some questions I had on a certain religion. The most fun one, I think, anyway, is when were chastity belts made for men? Yeah, a lot earlier than I thought. I mean, I had a rough idea, and I wasn't too far off, but it was pretty early. Question number 2. Do you write people you know and dislike into your story as villains or dumb people to kill off? Not really. I'm one of those people that when I hate somebody or I dislike somebody, it is a bridge burned. That person is no longer valid in my life. And I don't want to give the people that I have hated enough to actually hate a way to live forever. I mean, I know my books probably won't be like bestsellers or anything like that, but if they're on the page, then they're going to be there for longer than I'm alive and they're alive. So why would I give them a way to live forever? That's not good to me. Now, if it's a person I love and I adore and I want to remember, and I think people would be interested in their essence in a character, then I will definitely have them on the page so that they live forever. I do, however, have a list of traits that I despise that I think would be good for like a villain or an annoying character or something like that. They're not necessarily from people I know. It's just pet peeves that I have, pretty much, that I might have picked up on from people I know. 3, does personal hygiene sometimes come second to writing? Sometimes, yes, very much so, sometimes. But that also has a lot to do with not even remembering that I should as well. So, I mean, if I don't remember that I need to eat, how am I going to remember that I need to shower or something? Come up for air and I actually smell myself or something. It's never been that bad. I've never smelled too bad, I hope. I might have to ask my husband about that. 4, do you go on baby name websites to help you name your characters? Sometimes I do. I have a list. It's not in this notebook right here. It's one of them in the older notebooks of names that I want to use. That most of them I've kind of come up with. They're cobbled words of things that I've seen on my desk and I thought that they were good, but they just didn't work for the moment. Or names that I've heard, say like Zarya. I want to use the name Zarya somewhere in one of my books. But literally most of the time I'm just looking at items on my desk and taking the first part and putting it with the next part and maybe changing a couple of letters here so you can't tell that it's Almanac and Totoro put together or something. Number 5. Do you have a list of actors and actresses that would play your characters if there was an adaptation made? Yes. Now, I don't have as many in my head or written down or pictures taken off of the internet and put in a folder as I used to back in my RPG days, because in my RPG days I had to have an icon with my character profile and all that stuff, and I had to save a lot of actors and actresses and famous people for that. So I still kind of do, especially for my urban fantasy type, like Isekai Detective. I have faces for every single one of them just because they're real people. I don't know why that makes a difference, but I can never find those actors and actresses that fit my fantasy characters well enough for me to be able to say, yes, that is them, and yes, they are going to be in my adaptation if I have any say. Long-winded answers. Here we go. 6. Have you ever stared at a stranger because they look like one of your characters? No, I haven't had that happen yet. And I'm kind of, I don't know what I would do if I actually saw that in real life. Because let's face it, we make a lot of our characters into people that we want to see in real life, right? Or people that we are scared of in real life. That would be interesting. I hardly ever stare at people just because I think it's rude and I don't want people staring at me. So I don't know if I would ever stare. I might just like follow them around and listen to them talk maybe. I don't know. 7. Do you talk to yourself to help work through scenes? If so, where do you talk to yourself? Yes. Most of it is usually in my head just because I don't like the sound of my own voice. I have a different voice in my head. It's usually like my mom's voice or something like that, or even my character voices. I talk to inanimate objects. If I drop something or if something isn't working, I verbally abuse it. Not really, but you know what I mean. You know, it's just weird. Inanimate objects and me are friends, apparently. 8. While writing, do you make the expressions your characters are making? Most of the time when I'm making the expressions that my characters are making, it's not when I'm actually writing. It's when I'm visualizing the scene in the shower or when I'm in bed and I want to write it down, but I can't, or not yet. A lot of times I do make the facial expressions that they make just to help me remember it, I guess, but so I can't write it down. I don't know. Question number 9. Do you ever practice answering interview questions just in case you make it big? Nope. No, I don't. Because, I'll tell you what, if I had it planned out, I wouldn't remember it anyway. Even if I have a speech that I have made up and I have practiced it over and over and over and over again, and I have it completely, utterly memorized, when it's time for me to give that speech, I always change something up because I get an idea while I'm making the speech. I don't practice that. 10 and last question. Do you have a soundtrack and or playlist for your book or scenes from your book? Yes, mostly. It's more like mood playlist. Like each book has a certain mood. So like dark cello, Metallica, and things of that nature. Milk I usually have for like my vampire, my darker things. Sometimes I played that playlist with Capture the Empress as well because she's just so dark. Kind of. And then like Evanescence and Milk again probably, and El King for like my angsty female characters or my strong female characters. Yes. The mood, yeah. Isekai Detective was a lot of, what do they call it, funk and electronica and shamisen, Japanese shamisen metal. That was my Isekai playlist. If you're watching this video and you are an Authortuber, go ahead and do this tag if you want to, if you have time to. No pressure. I am not going to tag anybody because I don't want to pressure you or make you feel guilty about not doing it if I say your name. So yeah, if you see it, do it. It's as much pressure as I'm going to give you. Thank you for watching and listening to me ramble on, and the Kona snores behind me. She is always going to be snoring in all my videos, I guess, and you come here for that. Thank you for watching. As always, be kind to one another out there. Be kind to yourself, most importantly. Keep writing, keep being creative, keep reading, and I will see you next time.